Hello from Tokyo. Today I'm going to do a swipe painting like this one, but in this case I used primary magenta for the swipes, but today I'm going to use the turquoise that I have left over to do the swipe itself. This here, the turquoise green and the light gold, both have the silicone oil in them left over from the last painting. So yeah, it's this Mont Marte silicone oil, about 3 or 4 drops. The other colors don't have any silicone, and this one is permanent blue violet. And then I'm trying to decide which one to use here, but I'm going to probably use the Pyrole red. I'm a little bit worried about that mixing into a brown together, but we're going to have a go. The pouring medium I'm using is the usual clear PVA glue, 70% of that mixed with 30% water for all the paints, including the titanium white base, which is extremely thin, as you can see here. So now I'm going to put down the base paint, but you'll see there's some lumps in it. And this is because I prepared the base paint maybe about a week ago and left it to settle. But because of the heating we have on in the winter here, it's kind of made it clump a bit. And usually I would filter it with a pair of pantyhose, some sort of netting, and I didn't this time, so that's why there's lumps. Anyhow, I'm fixing the sides here and then popping all the air bubbles with the torch, and then it's time to lay down the colors. I'm pointing out here how the violet has started to sink into the white because it's a bit thicker than the white paint, which I'm quite surprised about. I thought they're about the same consistency. But I'm going to put some of this gold, which has silicone oil in it, and then load the palette knife with the turquoise green with the silicone oil too, and then do the swipe. You can see some of the cells starting to form already, and I'm going to actually torch it now, and it will increase the number of cells and lacing once I do here. So this is cool. Without having silicone in all of the paints, it meant that the edges don't have any cells popping up. I quite like that kind of bleeding in. Now I'm going to try and do a swipe down that direction. I'm going to put an extra bit of gold here to see if that will bring more cells up. Liking how the swipe color only starts to kind of appear mid-swipe, leaves a bit of the edge, that violet and red color. I'm going to torch where the swipe color is again, where the turquoise is, and then you can see more of the cells popping up here. Now going to start tweaking the painting, doing a little bit of fixing here and there as well, by adding some of the white base paint as well, like this. My preference for blowing out the paints is literally just using my breath and my mouth and not using any implement like a straw. But in cases like this, sometimes it's useful to use a straw, as I'm doing here. If you need to remove any of the paint to fix the design, it's quite simple to do with just dabbing with your finger like so. I'm going to take some time now to fix the painting how I like it and just enjoy the process. It's very meditative for me to do this, as I don't, maybe I already said that. So I hope you enjoy this painting, and I'm going to be quiet now and come back to you in a little bit. So I'm going to stop with the tweaking of the painting now. I'm quite interested to see how this white section will look like once it's dry. So let's have a look at the wet version of the painting. I really love this color combination. I'm so glad I went for the red. I need to fix that bit there, which looks like frost, that violet part, and some of the paint has split because I hadn't mixed it well enough with the pouring medium. Saying that, I love how the colors without the silicone in them have kind of bled into each other, and I think it's also because they were such thin paints. It's got a bit of a watercolor effect to it, and the veining of this turquoise green, very cool. I didn't blow out the sides as much as I did with the previous magenta swipe painting. You can see here, this is the magenta swipe one. And here is the dried version. First off, I did have problems with the base paint. There's some lumps and things because I didn't filter it, but we'll ignore that and have a look at the colors. What do you think of this color combination? I'm really glad I went for the red. I'll be using that violet pinkish color in my next swipe video, so it's not gone to waste or anything. I love this kind of threading or veining of the turquoise green. It goes so well with that red and the violet. And of course, the gold gives it a little bit of iridescence, which I'll show you in a moment. So this is the effect you get when you're using really, really thin consistency pouring medium and thinned out paints. I love it. Yeah, so you can hopefully see a bit of the gold shine there. It's very effective. Here it is flipped, so it's the opposite orientation. Looks pretty cool this way too, and also on its side like this, but I think my preference is this way. So what did you think about swiping using turquoise? Will you try the same too? Thank you so much for watching as always, and see you in the next one. Bye!